Hey friends, Ash here with Gent Sense. Hope that you're doing well. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at Emporio Armani Stronger With You Absolutely. I was actually reminded by a subscriber that I hadn't done a review on this, and I was thinking to myself, yeah, I did a first impression. I don't feel like it was that long ago. How long ago was it? 6 months ago. What? Yeah, 6 months ago. So I guess it's time for a review. In this video, I'm going to show you guys the presentation. I'm going to break the fragrance down for you. I'm also going to let you know how it compares to Stronger With You Intensely, which so far seems to be most people's favorite in the line. And I'll let you know whether or not you should buy Absolutely and whether or not it's redundant if you already own this one. So let's jump into it. First off, presentation time. Here we've got a look at the box. On the front, you've got the name of the house, name of the fragrance, the size, and the concentration. Up at the top, you have the Emporio Armani logo. Nothing on the sides other than this sort of copper band design. And then on the back, you have your ingredient information. On the bottom, you're gonna find your batch code, and it is punched into the box. It is 38T900W for my bottle. And here we've got the bottle of the fragrance, and I really like it. I dig this bottle design. It's the same with all the Stronger With You fragrances, but I like the gradient here. So you've got this dark, almost black coloration at the bottom, and then as it goes higher up, it clears out, and you get the nice dark ambery color of the fragrance that you can see through the bottle. Looks really good. You got the name of the fragrance, name of the house on the front. Nothing on the back, nothing on the sides. On the bottom, you have your sticker with your batch code. The cap clicks into place, and you do have to get this in a very specific spot to have it click down. And I'll go ahead and waste a couple sprays for you guys. Like always, let's do it. Here we go. So the big thing with this fragrance is when it was announced, there was a rum note in the breakdown. People love booze, both in their day-to-day lives and also in fragrances. So when people saw that rum note, they were thinking, oh man, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be like, Stronger With You made sweet and sticky and, just amped up, given a different kind of twist. Now I can tell you that I do pick up the rum in here when I spray the fragrance on, but there's not a whole lot of it. This is not a rum soaked fragrance. It's more so a rum splashed fragrance. So you can pick it up, but it's like little remnants. The rum is evaporating off the fragrance and you pick up just a little hint, a little whiff of it. Somebody's already come through and they've drunk all the rum and they've left just a few drops in there. When you first spray on Stronger With You Absolutely, like I said, you get a little bit of a rum splash in there, and it does have that Stronger With You DNA. It's unmistakable. As soon as you spray it on, you know, okay, yeah, this isn't the Stronger With You line. You pick up that chestnut pretty much right away. It is not as sweet as Stronger With You Intensely. That's the one I'm going to compare this to the most because that's the fragrance that I feel like it's closest to. And most people, if they're going to make a buying decision in this line, it's probably between those two. And I'm not saying it's devoid of sweetness because Stronger With You absolutely does have a good amount of sweetness to it. It's just not on the same level as Stronger With You Intensely as far as the sweetness goes. So for some of you, that's a good thing. And for others of you, that's a bad thing. It's also got a little bit of a balsamic feel when you first spray the fragrance on. The bergamot here, you don't get too much of it. Just a quick little hit of freshness as soon as you spray it on, but that goes away pretty quickly. You're gonna catch a little whiff of lavender as it dries down, but the main thing you're gonna get here is chestnut and vanilla, good amounts of that. And that chestnut is really gonna help tie this in with all the other fragrances in the Stronger With You line, because that really is kind of the focal point. That's what everything in the line hinges on, is that chestnut and utilizing it in one way or another. So sometimes you see it as a glazed chestnut with maybe a little more of a sticky, sweet, sugary tinge to it. And other times it's just a chestnut used in more of a warm, kind of comforting type of way. In as much as a chestnut in a fragrance bottle can be comforting. In case I've not really made this clear, Stronger With You Absolutely is pretty close to Stronger With You Intensely, and for that matter, Stronger With You. This is not a fragrance that goes drastically in a different direction. I would actually say of all the fragrances in the Stronger With You line, the one that sticks out the most as being the most different is Stronger With You Freeze, and that Stronger With You Intensely, and Absolutely are all pretty closely related. Like they're all brothers. They're not even first cousins. They're pretty closely related, yeah. But there are differences. So between Stronger With You Intensely and Absolutely, I've already said that Intensely is the sweeter of the two. That's definitely the case. And when Stronger With You Absolutely was first announced, they said this is the strongest, most powerful, most beast mode, most out of control Stronger With You ever. So we had to be thinking at that point, man, it's the most beastly Stronger With You, and Stronger With You Intensely is already a heck of a performer, right? So maybe Stronger With You Intensely is peak Sylvester Stallone, and then that would make Stronger With You Absolutely peak Arnold Schwarzenegger, just in terms of performance, because they were saying this is the next level. And guess what? They lied. The stronger of the Stronger With You fragrances is Intensely. It lasts longer, it projects more, it's more in your face, it's more aggressive. Absolutely is a bit softer, it's smoother, things are more rounded out. But if you're talking just straight up performance, Intensely's better. Also, Intensely makes use of that toffee note or toffee accord, and you're not gonna find that really in Absolutely. This leans more into that chestnut. This is more of the toffee. I would also say Stronger With You Intensely is a little bit spicier, whereas Absolutely it's gonna be a little bit darker, a little bit more balsamic, like I said, in the opening especially compared to this one. And I would say that Stronger With You Absolutely is a little bit more balanced, because while it doesn't have the same level of sweetness Intensely does, it is still sweet, it's just offset a little bit by some of the other notes going on. So Intensely leans way into that sweetness, and Absolutely reins it in. So is it redundant to own Absolutely if you already have Intensely or the original Stronger With You? I would say for a lot of people, the answer is yes. It's gonna be a little bit redundant. So some people are going to look at these and say, I really want that sweetness. I want the intense performance. I want the more youthful kind of approach. Give me Intensely. That's what I want. I think it's better. Even though they're pretty close, that's what I want. Other people are gonna say, no, I like that it's a little bit smoother. I like that it's not as aggressively in your face. I like that it's not as heavy-handed with the sweetness. Give me Absolutely. So this is going to be one of those things that's a little bit like Armani Code, Profumo, and Absolute, where they're pretty closely related, but people seem to choose one or the other. They say, well, I think Profumo's better because it's louder and it's sweeter and it's more attention grabbing. And other people will say, no, I like Absolute. It's a little bit more grown up. It's a little bit smoother, richer, whatever arguments you make. The same thing kind of happens here with these two. And big surprise, they're both Armani, even though this is Emporio Armani, not Giorgio Armani. I've harped a whole bunch about the performance here, but I haven't actually talked about the performance of Stronger With You Absolutely, so let's do that really quickly. In terms of longevity, off my skin, it's good. We're talking 7+ hours, 8+ hours, just not as good as Intensely. And in terms of projection, I'd say that's really where Intensely shines more than Absolutely. Longevity, they're both really solid. They're gonna stay on your skin for a long time, but Intensely projects further and for longer. Absolutely is still not a weak fragrance off my skin, just not as strong as Intensely. I would say Absolutely is above average in terms of projection, but it projects for an hour and a half, whereas Intensely is going to be pumping out for quite a while. That's a highly scientific breakdown. In terms of seasons, and this is going to be a shocker, more of a fall and wintertime fragrance. Yeah. And this one's going to be leaning more toward nighttime use, but I say wear it during the day if you like it. Wear it during the night as well. Wear it during dusk, dawn, whatever. Now, what do I think of it in terms of the whole line? Where would I put it personally? For me, I would say as of this moment that I actually prefer Absolutely to Intensely, which is probably not a huge surprise because I also prefer Code Absolute to Code Profumo. And this is kind of a generalization, but I think if you like Code Profumo more than Code Absolute, you'll probably like Intensely more. And I think if you like Code Absolute more than Code Profumo, you'll probably like Stronger With You absolutely more. Now, that's obviously not going to be the same for everybody, but I think it's a similar kind of idea going on here. So Stronger With You absolutely, I really like it. I think that for me personally, Stronger With You just keeps getting better. It's one of those fragrance lines that each time I smell a new fragrance, I'm like, hey, I dig what you did here. It doesn't seem to really deviate a huge amount from the original. You know, it's not like something drastically different. Like I said, Freeze is probably the most different one so far. But the little tweaks that they do, each time it makes sense. It's not something that comes out and it's just complete crap. Actually, Stronger With You leather, even though it's really hard to find, that is good stuff too. So if you can scoop that up and you're a fan of the Stronger With You line, absolutely do so. Don't pay insane prices or anything. But if you can find it for a decent price, pick that up too. So there we go. Stronger With You, absolutely. Really nice. I enjoyed it with my first impressions. I like it more now. It's good stuff. But keep in mind, it does have that issue with redundancy, so you may want to try to test it out first, unless you're just a massive fan of the Stronger With You line or something, and you're going to get it regardless. But if you already have Intensely and you've got a lot of that bottle left and you're not sure if it would be redundant and you're kind of antsy about making that purchase, you know, you're a little bit unsure if it's going to be too redundant, chances are it probably will be. So just keep that in mind. Don't want you to be unhappy and be like, man, this is 90% the same. Yeah, kind of is, sort of. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for all your support. Let me know if you've smelled Stronger With You, absolutely. And if you have, where does it fall in your hierarchy of Stronger With You fragrances? Toward the top, toward the bottom, in the middle, whatever, let me know. All right, guys, it's going to do it for me. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for your support. You stay safe out there. Take care of yourself. I'll see you again with another fragrance video. See you later.